Wow, so I just finished reading the Nausicaä manga after being intrigued after watching the movie, and the richness of the manga, the depth of the world, the characters it portrays is just amazing. It's as if I can feel this world and the pain and the joy that the characters feel. As I read the Nausicaä manga, especially towards the end, I couldn't help but wonder about all the clear parallels in the stories and the similarities it has to another classic sci-fi, Dune. And what do you know? Miyazaki states Dune as one of his influences when he was writing Nausicaä. So I want to outline some of the similarities between Dune and Nausicaä. Spoiler warning for Dune and Nausicaä, the manga. The similarities start with the main characters, Paul Atreides and Nausicaä. They're both foretold by prophecies from long ago and are viewed as gods by the people they meet, even though they are still distinctly human. And they both end up fulfilling their respective prophecies. Nausicaä fulfills the prophecy of the blue cloth one, and Paul Atreides fulfills the prophecy and becomes Muad'Dib. They are both bringers of destruction and mercy, and they both possess supernatural powers. Paul more so due to being able to read the future, and Nausicaa the quite ridiculous, in a good way of connecting with insects and other people. They're both leaders who inspire others and go in head first. Tell me how the worm handlers are not like the freemen, and their stories and call to action kicks off with tragedy. Although it is a common trope to start storytelling off with tragedy, but that begins with this chain of uh, that begins the chain of events. The world of these two stories are incredibly similar as well. The reference to emperors is common. The brutality of both worlds stands out. One of the most stark elements of reading Nausicaa is how brutal the world is. Limbs in war flying around like it's Saving Private Ryan, people dying on a whim, and even some dark humor in there as well. It feels so different than a lot of the Ghibli movies, even though it feels very familiar as well. And it's not just the gore, both worlds have so many horrifying elements to them. Both worlds feature societies that are not progressing or have already stagnated beyond past technologies. And these wondrous and horrifying as well technologies are only accessed by the few. The spice in Dune by the Space Guild and in Nausicaa in the crypts of Shua. These are worlds where technology is often used to perpetrate the awful, not to help ordinary people. And underneath the surface features, though, both of these worlds have a central dilemma that both protagonists face. That is, the environmental hazards and harshness that are key and necessary features of both societies. The society of Dune relies on spice, which is harvested from sandworms, turning Arrakis, the only planet with sandworms, into an environmental paradise without sand would eliminate all spice and cripple travel between worlds, resulting in a dark age for their society. And similarly, the polluted world in Noskai would eventually turn into an unpolluted one. Still, humans have adapted so much to their polluted world that they would cough up blood and die in an unpolluted one. Long story short, both worlds are pretty screwed and require suffering to achieve their so-called paradises. Um, However, similar as both worlds are, the main characters of both of these worlds, their interpretations are very different. Paul Atreides is stuck in his future. He technically wins in the end, but no matter what he takes, whether he lives or he dies, there is massive death and jihad is triggered. Nausicaa, on the other hand, chooses a future of preserving this cycle. She rejects the idea of starting over with nonviolent humans and wiping out the rest of humanity. She believes that life, and within it the joy and the pain and the forever torment that humans bring each other, is worth it. She believes that even though many will die, that humanity and humans will survive. And I'll just end it with a line from the end of Nausicaä. No matter how difficult it is, we must live.